The Nova Guest List Podcast.
With Kieran McGuinness.
The very best in indie, alternative and homegrown music from the seriously addictive Radio Nova.
Yeah, that is the brilliant Rachel Lavelle, Let Me Unlock Your Full Potential. Absolutely love that. And that's from one of the albums released this week, and surely one of the albums that'll be up for the Choice Music Prize, potentially at the end of the year. Yes, we're in that kind of, exalted company. But speaking of exalted company, coming to Dublin on this Sunday, December the 3rd is a band called The Members. And in the middle of punk, they were formed in 1977. And it's just amazing reading their story, connected to the Damned and the Sex Pistols and playing the Roxy Club and being on Stiff Records. The band released a song called The Sound of the Suburbs, which is basically just one of the punk anthems, released in 1979. And then their debut album, At the Chelsea Nightclub, is seen as one of the top 20 punk albums. So it's absolutely amazing. But the thing is that they're still touring, which is incredible. And we have an opportunity to go and see them, one of the original punk bands that got on Top of the Pops and freaked everybody out, in the late 70s. And we have Mr. JC Carroll on the line, the singer with The Members, and described as the T.S. Eliot of punk, which is a pretty cool title. How are you doing, JC?
Well, that's very nice. The T.S. Eliot of punk, that's wonderful. High praise indeed.
Yeah. So you're going out to a gig tonight. You're playing tonight in Bracknell, is that right?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, pretty horrible night. So do you have any kind of gig day sort of routines and things like that to get you ready?
Rituals, well, as I said earlier on, I like to rest up as much as possible. Normally what we do is we get in a vehicle and drive for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And then I stare out the window and you see all the everything, rushing past you, because being a musician, 90% of it's travelling. So that's my routine, I guess, is travelling.
Yeah.
And rituals include getting the merch together, packing CDs and records, and we don't really write set lists. We sort of make it up as we go along when we get to the gig. Oh,
that's very pure. I love it. So pure. So you've been touring for over 40 years. I don't want to bring it back to age at any point, so forgive me if I do. But you've been touring for over 40 years. What about it is, apart from the travelling, still excites you?
Well, what happens is your song. If you have a song like Sound of the Suburbs, it means a lot to certain people. And what you are the soundtrack to their youth. And you have the ability to make those people travel back to when they're 17 for 4 minutes. And it's a sort of gift, a special gift. So you can make a 60-year-old man feel like he's 17 for 4 minutes. And so you've got to do that as much as possible, because it's a combination of time travel and making somebody feel really good. And that's what we're there for. We're there to spread the love and make people feel younger and bring them back to the time when they had no cares. Yeah,
it's such a gift to have a song like The Sound of the Suburbs that kind of connects with people in that way. Like, it's amazing. And so you must have seen loads of bands in the last 40 years that have kind of taken inspiration from what you do and what bands around you kind of have done. When you go out and see like young musicians doing what you have been doing, like, how does that make you feel? How do you connect with that?
Well, it makes me feel really wonderful. But the subject matter has changed a little bit. I mean, during the New Wave punk period, the subject matter was quite eclectic, and we sang a lot about alienation and things like that, which those subjects aren't as popular. And the kind of love songs were almost verboten. There wasn't really any love songs. So we grew up in a time where we wrote this poetry, quite angry sometimes, but also quite obtuse poetry. So we saw that the idea, when I see young bands telling their stories on stage, is wonderful, because you have an opportunity to tell the world what your life is like or how you're feeling about at any one time. You can sing love songs if you want, but you can also tell the story of how you're living, and that's a wonderful thing to be able to do from the stage.
Yeah, and so you'll be touring, I guess, your most recent album, as with everything else, Bedsit Land. And how has your songwriting changed in that period, since those first songs in 1977, first album 1979?
They haven't changed that much. I mean, when you've got a good formula, you've got to stick to it. But one of the things that we have, and about our songs, we have quite a lot of chords in our songs. We're not 3 chords. And so it really annoys the band because I come up with a song that's, Sound of the Suburbs got about 50 chords in it, and the songwriting has, I guess, matured a little bit, but you always want to really revisit the golden subjects, and subjects that sounds, alienation and loneliness and things like that sound miserable subjects, but there's quite a lot of things you can write about those things, and it's also refreshing to write about things that aren't normally covered in pop songs. We had a song about tax avoidance, which was quite big for us in the 70s, and just things that are different, and a lot of the new wave punk bands had songs about things that people didn't normally write about, and it's a good thing to have songs like that.
Yeah, and as well, I mean, you expanded your sound away from not the three chords, but that kind of angry, kind of passionate, speaking for the young people kind of feel of that kind of delivery, to bringing in kind of brilliant song Working Girl, which has kind of got a reggae feel to it, so there's a big kind of there is a lot more than people who just know, I suppose, the Sound of the Suburbs to your sound, which will be fantastic. So on the night, on the December the 3rd, in the Workman's Club, what can people expect from the show?
Well, I'm quite a funny guy, and in between the songs, I tell terrible lies about why we're there and what we're doing. And I really believe in communicating to the audience, and I don't know. It's a show. We tell the songs of our youth, but also we've got some quite interesting new songs that we're developing. We play a bit from the new. I know everybody gets groans, and it's from the latest albums, but we've been releasing records for a long time now. So it's about 35% of the old songs, and then 65% of stuff that I've written recently, and with the rest of the band. You can expect a mixture of surf music, reggae music. You can hear, it's surf, punk, and new wave all mixed together. And of course, the hits. We have sort of mini hits for different people. We have Sound of the Suburbs, which is our pop hit. Solitary Confinement, which is our Stiff Records hit.
Great hit as well.
In the nose of Stiff, And then Working Girl was our American and Australian hit. It was a huge hit for us in America. So to anybody from America in your audience, they'll know that one. And then there'll be songs that you haven't heard, but we've got the opportunity to play to you. And, we've worked hard on them. We've written them out on exercise books and recorded them. And so, I've got the Bedsit Land was a big record for us. It was our last album, and it got to number 1 in the Heritage chart in the UK here. So
it's fantastic.
Kind of a mini hit for us in the old people's chart.
Yeah. Well, look, it's such a brilliant opportunity to go and see one of the original punk acts that's still producing great music. JC, it's been a pleasure talking to you this evening.
Kieran, thank you very much for phoning me from Ireland, and I look forward to seeing you. And I'd like to say to all your listeners out there, don't ever stop listening to Radio Nova, because it's the best radio station in Ireland.
Oh, that is absolutely perfect. You're giving me great stuff here. Thank you so much, JC. Enjoy the show tonight, and we'll see you in December the 3rd in the Workman's Club. We're going to play something by the Members right now. Thank you, JC.
Take care. Thank you, Kieran. Bye.
Thank you so much. And this is The Sound of the Suburbs on Radio Nova.
The Nova Guest List Podcast with Kieran McGuinness. The very best in indie, alternative and homegrown music from the seriously addictive Radio Nova.